Remember that video in which I talk about how I got only 4 books in April? Well, the day after I filmed that book haul, I went to the bookstore to hang out with my friend, and then I went to Jakarta and bought some more books, and there was a big book sale in Jakarta and I went there, and so I got more books, and I went back to Solo, but in the airport they had a bookstore, so I got more books. I'm pretty ashamed of this pile because it looks like I have no control. I Got I Was Here by Gail Forman, and this book is about Cody. Cody's best friend Meg committed suicide, so Cody has to deal with the grief, with the loss of a best friend, and also the anger, and she tried to understand why Meg committed suicide. I want to buy A Untuk Amanda from Anissa Ihsani. This book is about Amanda. She reminds me a little bit of Hermione, combined with some character qualities that you see from John Green books, so that really intrigued me to read this book. She is smart, but she's dealing with depression. That alone got me intrigued to read it because there aren't a lot of books, especially books for teenagers in Indonesia, that deals with mental health. It's also been said that the writing is like John Green. So that's pretty good. Like if you put John Green in a sentence that refers to a book, I will read that book. The next book that I got is 1717 by Shiva. Let's ignore the cover because honestly I don't like the cover. If it wasn't for a review again on cubicleromance.com, I would not have picked this book up. But they have illustration and it's got a good review on that book blog, so I picked it up. So I read 50 pages of the book and I really liked it. Somehow this book gave me back the faith that I lost in books from Indonesian authors made for teenagers in Indonesia, because teen literature in Indonesia, for me, there are only like a couple of gems and others are pretty boring for me personally. But this book made me have hopes again, so I bought a lot more books based on the hope that suddenly appeared because of A Untuk Amanda. So I bought 3 more books. I picked up 3 most interesting summaries of the young adult shelf in the local bookstore in Jakarta, and so I got All You Need Is Love for Christina Amalia, and Melody and Mars by Mia Arsja, and Sylvia's Letters by Miranda Malonka. All I know about these books are this book has Scotland. Seemed a lot like FTV, and I don't know why that was interesting, but I thought I would read it anyway. All I know about this book is that this book has unsent love letters. I got The Winner's Kiss. It came in the mail early in May, and I was excited to read it because this is the 3rd and final book of the Winner's Trilogy by Mary Rutkowski. If you don't know, well, I'm gonna tell you about the first book. The first book is called The Winner's Curse. The Winner's Curse was about Kestrel, a daughter of a general. His general conquers the land, and Kestrel, the daughter, she went to the market one day and bought a slave. Because the life of the slave and Kestrel mingled together, things got complicated, feelings got complicated. Mary Rutkowski's writing is so good, and that book is so interesting because it's full of political intrigue. This is the 3rd book. I read it already, and I loved it. These 4 books, I'm not going to talk about them because I already talked about them for a bit in my video about Big Bad Wolf right here, because I went to Big Bad Wolf event and got this book. So if you want to know about my experience with Big Bad Wolf event or the story behind me buying this book, you can click on that. In the airport, they had a bookstore, and I went to the bookstore and saw this book just sitting casually there. I did not even plan to buy any book. I look at that blue cover, look at that familiar font, and went to the cashier so fast. This is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in Aqatari series, A Court of Thorns and Roses by the brilliant Sarah J. Maas. I picked this book up because I love the first book. It's so huge, and I read it super fast, and I loved it. Aqatari, the first book, is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. We have Fira as a huntress. One day she killed a wolf, and it turns out that the wolf is a fae, and because she had just killed a fae in this world where fae and humans are kind of separated and they kind of hate each other, and she killed that fae, so she had to deal with the consequences. So she is brought to the fae land, and stuff got interesting. The second book is inspired by the Greek mythology, Hades and Persephone. I'm Indonesian, what do I know about Greek mythology? But it was good. It will link every Goodreads page for each book in the description down below. So if you're confused about what the books are about, you can look at the description down below. I'm Hannah. Thank you for watching this very long book haul. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye. We have arrived. I'm in my natural habitat.